My last video where I put myself into metaverse had pretty random setting. It was some kind of a space crash with the character in the middle who didn't die and made it, and after watching The Flash from DC, I thought, wow, I wanna become a Flash. So in this video, I'm gonna be using VFX magic to put this awesome guy into 3D world and make him a superhero. Let's go! The first question was, where should I start? There are so many software, but I know only a couple of them, so the list kind of limited. From one of my last videos, I did my avatar with a special technology called MetaHuman, which allowed me to scan my face and transfer it in game engine in a couple of clicks. Sounds like an easy-peasy job, right? It's not. When I started, it was going pretty well. I imported the model into the scene, roughly animated running path, and here comes problems. I cannot animate characters, and I don't have friends animators. So I decided to transfer default running animation from a dummy from the game engine. After watching a couple of tutorials on YouTube, my body moves. Now camera. Firstly, I tried to animate the camera by keyframes, but quickly understood that this is a dumb idea, because it will take forever to do. At this point, I discovered Rails. But when I finished up with setting up keyframes, I noticed that my camera moves weirdly. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes slower, sometimes my body goes crazy. I tried to lock on the camera view on my face, but for some reason it was copying head rotation, so the image goes like... This is so hard to animate properly, especially when you work with speed ramps. What a speed ramp? It's like... I hope you got it. So after a whole pointless week of work, I decided to switch to another 3D software, which I know a bit better, which is Blender, which I don't know why I'm talking like that. So to transfer my workflow, I just needed to export the running animation from Unreal Engine and import it to Blender. Due to the specific nature of game engine, the body and head come separately. Some videos on YouTube explained me how to properly connect everything and make it move. It wouldn't be me if it all went perfectly without any problem. So, according to my idea, the camera should fly around me and slow down at specific areas to emphasize the moment. Do you see all these keyframes? Every frame of the body is baked to these keyframes. It determines my body location in space for each frame. If I want smoothly slow down for slow motion and then goes back to normal speed, it's just nearly impossible to tweak all these keyframes in correct way. So after some Google time, I found out that Blender has a time controller. I thought I was saved, but I was wrong. Again. There is no way to animate this property. It's impossible. It just didn't work like that. So my only solution to this was to render out it in 1200 FPS and slow it down in editing software later. The downside of this method that I couldn't make super slow motion that I wanted initially. And you would say, why don't you render it in 2400 FPS or even more? This project took me 2 months of work and I just couldn't afford to spend more time sitting and waiting for rendering, especially with that fact that on daytime I use computer to do my job. Yeah, I work like all people. Please help me. Subscribe so I can quit this stale circle. I wanted to become the fastest man alive. And what do you think this person must have? You're right, lightning! So again, I went on YouTube to find some tutorials, and I found one, hard one, in Houdini. Houdini is a software which allows you to make ultra-realistic simulations. But it requires some time to learn, which I didn't have. You got it, Joe, like the fastest man alive doesn't have enough time to learn. As a result, I imported my model into this program and copied step-by-step tutorial with some tweaks to fit with my particular situation. But after one more week of work making and rendering these effects, I've got lightning and what I call speed particles. It's time to wear a costume! For this task, I used Marvelous Designer, a software to create realistic cloth. Despite the fact that I used this program for my previous video, it was a long time ago, so I forgot how to use this program. And once again, with the help of YouTube, I created a simple tight suit. Almost. Oh, much better. Imported this costume to the blender and start paint some lines from original Flash suit. I thought it would be pointless to be very precise and make it super detailed because I don't have any close shot. Here is the result. And thanks Zeus, this stage was easy. I just created a plane, textured it and duplicated a couple of times to make some sort of a running track. One more plane around my track to fill far distance gap. Scattered some rocks on the ground, placed mountains to the background, added sky, fog and couple of light sources around the scene. Rendered everything out layer by layer for further compositing. And the last stage wasn't something special, I just enhanced everything. I added some blur to make me appear faster, glow to the lighting and particles, some liquid effect to make it look like it's something magical, color collection, light leaks and blah 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 blah, all this like compositing stuff. And after all of that, enjoy the final result.